everyone, Sabrina here with my husband.
Hello.
And we're doing a book review today. It's a joint book review because I can't actually remember much about this book at all. And it is Blight of Blackwings by Kevin Hearn. This is the sequel to
A Plague of Giants.
Thank you.
Part of the Seven Kennings series.
Okay, we think this might be a trilogy. Kind of hoping it's a trilogy.
Well, there's a third one.
There's definitely a third one. So
the Krakens.
This may or may not be a trilogy.
No,
we don't know yet.
Well, it's at least a trilogy.
This is book 2, as you said, of the Seven Kennings series, which follows different groups of people that all have their own special ability that has great cost, not only to get it, but also to use it. And the political manoeuvres that are happening between the groups, as well as looming invasion and war. Yeah?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
A war's been and gone, which was chronicled in the previous book. And so we're finding out more about the next steps and the recovery from it. The army's still hidden somewhere. They're going to try and find it. And a whole bunch of people decide to go off and make their own city and be independent.
Yes. Yeah, I think there's a lot more politics at play in this one, isn't there?
Yes. It hits the ground running, though. It's literally the first chapter. It might as well be the next chapter of the previous book. There's no
previously.
There's no catch up. There's no map.
Yeah, I could really done with some of this. You know, one, I want a map. I badly want a map for this world.
You know, book 1 comes with a really nice map. And, you know, we could have got this out and used this as a reference, but we didn't.
We didn't, but hey.
That would be nice.
And then you get...
Well, let's get a nice illustrated thing about all the characters. We do get a bit in this one.
Well, we get the dramatists, but we don't get the illustrations or anything. And I think my biggest problem was remembering who everybody was.
Because certainly some don't feature until much, much later.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, it was that guy.
Yeah. Who was that? Yeah, what did they do?
Yeah, what were they? Because they've all got funny names, like these books normally do. It's a case of, which was that one?
Yes. So I think that's my biggest problem, that I was lacking information from the previous book, and I don't think it helped. I couldn't actually remember everything that had happened in the previous book. I remember the overall, but there was a hell of a lot that happened in that first book, and not all of it I can recall.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since we read that one.
Yeah, so definitely there's that. And, you know, one for your notebooks. You know.
Yeah, reading them back to back, it might help.
Yeah. But having said that...
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Really enjoyable. I mean, we liked the original premise of a bard telling each character's story. So part of their kenning is they can transform into the person telling that story, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
And, you know, who needs movie when you can do that? But we liked that first time around. That's how this story continues. So there's the continuity with the bard and everything that's happening in that town.
Yes, can't remember any names already.
No, I can't remember any names at all. You know, and
there's certainly a bit of political intrigue going on behind him, the guy who's working with him and stuff. And there's lots of spies. And
yeah, it gets mixed up in spies, and there's lies being told, and there's secrets being withheld from people that really should know about these things.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that was set up in the first book is continued here, and it's like, okay, what was that?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
What was the bit? Oh yeah, and you pick it up and you get there. Yeah. But, you know, so I have no issues with how this story is told. Like I said, we liked it in the first one. This continues. So if you don't like the storytelling in the first one, you're probably not going to be impressed with the second one. Sorry. Tough.
But certainly my highlights were these different people getting together to build the city. I really enjoyed that particular aspect, and quite a lot of the people that the bard used to talk were all at the same place.
Yeah, so you got to see what was going on from lots of people's points of view in that one location, and seeing the whole city grow from the very beginning, and the fact they just want to all live together in peace and harmony.
Well, most of them do.
Well, most of them, yeah. But, you know, seeing that as a nutshell for the growth of a town that I'm presuming is going to be quite important in the third book, and seeing how they linked up with the rest of the world around them, that was really nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, you also had the revolution going on in the other town with the Sixth Kenning.
Yes, the newly discovered Sixth Kenning.
And, you know, they've overthrown the bad guy.
Oh, he's an arse.
You know, they're taking control, and they've got try to implement a proper democratic and
a fair society for all. And that was really interesting reading about that, because again, that was told from different people's points of view within that area.
From both sides as well.
And, you know, it was really interesting saying, well, you know, could you do a peaceful revolution? Could you overthrow a corrupt authority and do it in a bloodless way as possible? So that's pretty cool when you see it all kick off.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, the other shoe's going to drop for that one.
Oh, yes. Consequences are going to come from this.
So really curious to know where we're going to go for the next book. There's a few revelations have been brought up. We still don't know what the seventh kenning is, really.
No,
but
there are hints.
There are certain hints.
And it's pretty damn yikes, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think we've met one guy who had it.
Yeah, certainly. And we've got a new group of people that we've met as well.
Oh yes, the Islanders.
Yes, and so we're seeing a lot from their point of view, and obviously being introduced to what we already know, established from the first book. And what was brilliant was being able to see the Bard's kenning being used. He's good with languages, so to see him actually being a mediator between all these different people who don't share a common tongue.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
While they're building a city.
Yeah, you know. So that was fun as well.
Yeah, and certainly when Abby was developing his sixth kenning and communicating with these animals, I won't give away spoilers because some of them are really cool. But yeah, I need a bestiary. I need a book on the animals of this world.
Yeah.
What are meat squirrels?
Yeah. Just think about that one.
I think they're meat squirrels, aren't they?
Yeah, they were meat squirrels, yeah. But yeah, so certainly there is lots of potential for plenty of appendices in the third book. We want that bestiary. We want the map back. We'd like the illustrated character profiles and all that, please. You know, if you're listening, please.
It's all described really nicely, so it should be quite straightforward to someone who can draw better than me to make it.
It's just that little touches we want, isn't it? Those little bits. But yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was because it was being read to me every night, so we got a chapter or a bit of a chapter depending on how long it was. So at that point it would be a character. We'd get one character per night telling a bit of the story. Yeah. And to listen to it was really nice. I mean, he's doing it. And it was really nice because each voice was distinct. They had their own way of talking. They had their own particular language uses.
Yeah, their own mannerisms.
Yeah.
So their own gods that they worshipped and invoked, and their own kennings. You had the water people, the wind people, the animal people.
The
earth people.
The foliage.
The foliage people.
Yeah, and fire.
And the fire people.
Yes.
Fire giants.
Fire giants. So, everyone is distinctive. So you don't get lost reading and jumping from one character to another because they all have their own distinctive voice coming through. It's not just who am I reading about again? You go to the front of the chapter to find out. No, everyone is very individual within this story.
And they're also quite identifiable even without that, because not everyone's got the kennings. There's only a select few have that. But, you got the scholar who's really into mustard. And mustard man. And you got the main one that we follow, who's really into toast.
Toast and tea. Yeah.
Toast is mentioned a lot, and gift baskets.
Gift baskets. Oh yeah, there's a whole conversation on gift baskets.
Each people and each individual character you follow, they've got enough distinctive stuff that
you don't get lost. Yeah. Which is unlike Game of Thrones, where you're just sitting there going, "Who are we talking about this time?" No, these guys are all separate. They are individual people and cultures.
Okay, remembering who they are sometimes.
That's the hard bit, yeah.
Now get into it, because we introduce a bunch of rangers who one of their towns is sacked and they come home to find everyone dead, and they go on some adventures. But we don't see them very often, and when they come back again, it's a case of...
Who's that? Yeah.
Who's this lot?
Oh yeah, it's that lot, yeah. So, like I said, notepad, pen. Blight of Blackwings. Really enjoyed it. Another big thumbs up. If you like that kind of storytelling, you're going to be very happily carrying on with this series. If you don't like this storytelling, you've probably given up on the first book, Sorry.
If you didn't like the first book, you're not going to like this one. It's just more of the same, but continues the story.
Yeah, more politics, more world building, more introduction of characters, more explanation of the kennings. It is the building on of what we've already learned. Yeah. It's not just... yes, it is more the same storytelling-wise, but it's not the same story being told.
It's not the same... No, it's not... No, I didn't mean that at all.
I know what you meant, but I'm just making it clear in case somebody else didn't know what you meant.
But a lot
we
less,
get each other.
But a lot less of the fighting in this one. There was a bit.
But not much.
But not as much, so I'm expecting...
But there are some cool bits. When it does turn up, it's cool.
Yep, there are some.
Cool. Yeah. So there you go. Blight of Blackwings. Highly recommended.
Yeah, have you read it? Comments down below. as usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you.
And as always, you can find all my links to my social media in the description box down below. Goodreads, Twitter, Instagram. Come and say hi. Book blog down there where I may or may not have done a review on this book. Depends when you watch this video. I might get around to it at some point. And you also find links to Booktubers that I think you should go and check out because I'm trying to defeat the algorithm. Yay, help me out please guys. Go and support some of these Booktubers. That would be lovely. And when's the third one come out?
No idea.
So the third book coming out is The Clash of Krakens. I will leave the publication date down below when I go and find it out for you. And we will be picking that up.
Yes, we will.
There we go. So as always, thank you much for watching. Happy reading and be well.
See you later.